Eyes over the hills of Galilee as Jesus walked quietly along a narrow path. The morning air was cool, carrying the scent of wildflowers and the distant sound of sheep bells. The world was just waking, but Jesus' heart was already full of compassion for the people he would meet that day. As he walked, he passed a young shepherd named Jonah, who sat alone on a rock with his head in his hands. His flock grazed nearby, but something was troubling him deeply. Jesus paused and stepped closer, his footsteps soft on the earth. "Why do you sit in sorrow?" Jesus asked gently. Jonah lifted his face, surprise flashing across his eyes. "Teacher, I have many sheep, but last night one wandered off. I tried to search until dark, but I could not find it. I fear it is lost forever." Jesus sat beside him, his expression calm and kind. "Tell me," he said, "how many sheep do you have?" 99, Jonah replied quietly. "More than enough to keep me busy." "And yet," Jesus said softly, "your heart is troubled over the one that is missing." Jonah sighed. "It's my smallest lamb, weak and slow, always wandering behind." Jesus smiled. "Love does not forget the weak. Love does not give up on the slow. Love journeys after the lost." Jonah looked at him, puzzled. "But what if I search again and fail? What if the lamb is hurt? What if I am not strong enough to bring it back?" Jesus placed a hand on the shepherd's shoulder. "Do you trust that God walks with you?" Jonah hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Then go," Jesus said with warmth in his voice, "and know that love gives strength, even to the weary." Encouraged, Jonah arose and hurried toward the hills. Jesus followed behind at a gentle pace, watching the young shepherd climb higher and higher, calling for the missing lamb. Hours passed as Jonah searched through thick bushes and rocky corners. His voice echoed across the valleys, but no answer came. At last, exhausted, Jonah sank to his knees. "I cannot do this alone," he whispered. Jesus reached him then, not breathless, not weary, but calm and steady. Without a word, he knelt beside a cluster of thorny bushes and reached into the shadows. A faint cry sounded. Jonah gasped as Jesus lifted the trembling lamb into his arms. Its wool was tangled, and its legs shook from fear, but it was alive. Jesus cradled it gently, brushing away the thorns and whispering soft reassurance. Jonah's eyes filled with grateful tears. "How did you know where to look?" Jesus smiled at him. "Love sees where others do not. Love hears what others ignore. Love searches until the lost are found." He placed the lamb into Jonah's arms, and the young shepherd held it close, feeling its heartbeat against his chest. As they walked back toward the flock, Jesus continued beside him, the warm light of the afternoon surrounding them like a blessing. "Teacher," Jonah said quietly, "why do you care so much for people who wander, who fail, who lose their way?" "Because every person is precious, not just the strong, not just the faithful, not just the ones who walk the right path. Everyone. My Father's love does not end when someone stumbles. It reaches into the darkest places, searching, calling, lifting, and bringing them home." Jonah listened, taking in every word. He saw how Jesus' steps were slow and steady, how his eyes shone with gentle kindness, how his presence brought peace even to the fearful lamb in his arms. This was love unlike any he had known, a love that guided, healed, and restored. When they reached the field, the other sheep lifted their heads and bleated happily as Jonah placed the rescued lamb among them. wobbled for a moment, then settled safely into the flock. Jesus watched with quiet joy. "Thank you," Jonah whispered. "Today you not only saved my lamb, you taught me what love truly is." "And what is that?" Jesus asked softly. "That love never gives up," Jonah said. "Love trusts God even when the path is hard. Love keeps searching, keeps hoping, keeps caring." Jesus nodded, his face warm with approval. "Yes," he said, "and that is the love I have for every heart." As the sun began to set, painting the sky with gold and crimson, Jonah watched Jesus walk away down the long, winding path, a simple man with simple clothes, yet carrying a love large enough to touch the whole world. And the shepherd knew he had met not just a teacher, but the very heart of God walking among them.